we're going to take a deeper dive into relay transitions. And mostly we're going to talk about the actual relay start. But the reason I want to specify relay transitions is because that incoming swimmer is very important to the success of the overall transition from one relay swimmer to the next. And relay exchanges have changed considerably over time. They've gone from really just kind of a traditional dive as the next swimmer comes in and touches the wall to a step start, a two-step start, and now we have the step over where we're stepping over the wedge start. And that's mainly the start that I'm going to be talking about, and mostly because the data shows that is not only the fastest start in terms of reaction time, not by a large margin, but it is faster than other starts, but it also gains the most momentum, gains the most power in that leaving the block phase, which translates to the most speed entering the water. And so that's the start that ultimately we're trying to learn and use when we're doing our relay starts. So first we need to talk about the ideal exchange. And the ideal exchange means that the swimmer that's on the blocks, their toes are leaving the blocks the moment that swimmer comes in, the moment their fingertips are touching the wall. That is what we call a 0.00 reaction time, in which the toes are leaving the blocks at the exact same time the swimmer swimming in touches the wall. And that's the goal. That's what we're working for. That's very tough. That's pushing it, right? We don't want to DQ. We don't want to be, have a negative reaction time where the toes are leaving the block before the swimmer is touching the wall. So usually we should just shoot for, somewhere between 0.1 and 0.2. 0.1 and 0.3 reaction time will be very, very good. So that's what we're looking for in our ideal reaction time. And what this means is the swimmer that's on the blocks will initiate their relay start. They'll initiate their movement, their step, their arm swing before that swimmer that's coming in has touched the wall. And so timing becomes a very huge part of having a successful relay start. So this means our relay exchange really starts when the swimmer that's swimming in the water is still about 10 yards away. That's when the swimmer on the block is starting to notice their tempo, their rhythm, and try and figure out when they're going to take that last stroke so they can start making their move. And it's going to be different. Every swimmer coming in and every stroke coming in is going to be different for that person on the block. And so, the best way to get good at relay starts is to practice it over and over and over again with someone swimming in for you, so you can really get a sense of that timing and be able to make those adjustments on the fly when you're on the block. Okay, let's talk about the setup position for a step over start. And so in that step up position, we want to make sure that our wedge is where we have it normally when we dive on a block. And we're going to put that foot that we normally have on the wedge in the normal position that we have it. And then the foot behind our normal lead foot in our dive is actually going to be set up behind the wedge, standing on the back of the block. And that's how we want to get set up. And then the motion is, it's just as that swimmer's coming in, you're taking that back foot, you're stepping it up and over the wedge, and your goal is to get that foot stepped up and over the wedge and curl your toes over the front of the block. And then as you're going through that process, you're also swinging your arms up and then back, kind of like a reverse or a double arm backstroke stroke. And then once those toes grip the front of the block, you're launching off into your relay start. Now we want to try to make sure that as we're doing that relay start, as we're taking that step, as we're swinging our arms, we're not letting our body come up and get big and tall. We're trying to direct as much of our energy as possible forward. And the reason that the step over start is so powerful, carries so much more speed into the water, is because it creates an unstoppable momentum. You step over that wedge and you create this downhill movement that cannot be stopped. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do when we do our step over relay start. And like I said earlier, the key to a great relay start is timing. Not only timing in terms of timing as that swimmer's coming in, when are they taking their third to last stroke, when are they taking their second to last stroke, and how are you going to time your movement, your step over, your arm swing, to make sure that you're leaving the wall as soon as that swimmer's hand in the water touches the wall. So that's tricky, right? We're timing the swimmer coming into the wall. We're timing our movements to make sure we're leaving the wall as soon as they touch the wall, but we're also timing our movements through our step over start to make sure that our forward hand swing, so remember, we're swinging our arms up and back, and then as they come forward again, we want that to come forward again as our feet are leaving the block to really accelerate that forward momentum one final time. And so that's 3 different timing pieces that we're trying to plug into one relay start to hit a specific reaction zone. And so that's really challenging. We can work on that step over start motion out of the pool. That's certainly something we can get used to, just kind of develop the fine and gross motor skills necessary to do a great step over start. But really, to get that timing down is practicing it in the water, getting used to it, getting feedback, have your teammates watch you, have your coaches watch you, and tell you if you're going early, if you're going late, and so that way you can really get a sense of your timing and how you need to make that movement, and getting used to different swimmers coming in, different strokes coming in, so that you can make those adjustments in any race, in any stroke, with any swimmer coming into the wall. So those are the keys to really executing a great relay exchange.